नमस्ते, खुश रहो बिटिया. I JVN Dr. Ashok Kumar Jain, FPD Department from Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University. Now today's topic is Pulmonary Rehabilitation BPT 8th SEM. Pulmonary rehabilitation is a comprehensive intervention based on a thorough patient assessment followed by patient tailored therapies that include but are not limited to exercise training, education, and behavior change designed to improve the physical and psychological condition of people with chronic respiratory disease and to promote the long term adherence to health enhancing behavior. Exercise tolerance is one of the main factors limiting participation in activities of daily living among individuals with chronic respiratory disease. The cardinal symptoms that limit exercise in patients with respiratory disease are dyspnea and fatigue. Common indication for referral to pulmonary rehabilitation: respiratory disease resulting in anxiety, engaging in activity, breathlessness with activity, limitation with social activities, leisure activities, indoor and outdoor course, basic ADL or instrumental ADL, loss of independence. Indication for pulmonary rehabilitation: it is indicate for those individuals with chronic respiratory disease who have decreased exercise tolerance, extre- ext- extra- uh, extortional dyspnea or fatigue and or impairment of activity of daily living. Obstructive pulmonary disease: chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, asthma, bronchitis, respiratory pulmonary disease, in interstitial fibrosis, collagen vascular lung disorder, pneumoconiosis, sarcoidosis. Restrictive chest wall disease, kyphoscoliosis, severe obesity or poliomyelitis. Other condition: pulmonary vascular disease, lung resection, lung transplantation, occupational and environmental lung disease. Contraindication: condition that might interfere with the patient undergoing the rehabilitative process. Example के लिए advanced arthritis, inability to learn, disruptive behavior. Condition that might place the patient at undue risk during exercise training. Severe pulmonary hypertension, unstable angina or recent MI, myocardial infarction. Benefit of pulmonary rehabilitation: improve in exercise tolerance, reduce in the sensation of dyspnea, improve in health related quality of life, improvement in peripheral muscles strength and mass, reduction in number of days spent in hospital. Pulmonary rehabilitation is a cost effective intervention. Improvement in the ability to perform routine activity of daily living, reduction in exhaustion, reduction in anxiety and depression, improvement in exercise tolerance are maintained between 6 to 12 months, improvement in uh, improvement in health related quality of life may be maintained for longer. Assessment necessary to determine severity of respiratory impairment: clinical history, review of parental record, review of perinatal report, educational assessment of physical examination. Other assessment: measurement of respiratory muscle strength, measurement of peripheral muscle strength, assessment of ADL, health status, conjunctive function, level of anxiety or depression, nutritional status of body composition. Stress testing, physical performance test to measure activity limitation, 6-minute walk test, questionnaires, disease specific, chronic respiratory disease or journal specific. The major component of pulmonary rehabilitation are dyspnea management, exercise training, nutritional, body composition, patient education, conjunctive behavior therapy, reduce ventilatory demand, reduce ventilatory impedance, improve inspiratory muscle function, where alert central perception. Point to be considered in the exercise prescription: frequency, intensity, time, and type. Program duration and frequency: 20 sessions more effective than 10 short-term intensive program. 20 sessions in 3 to 4 weeks found to be more effective. Outpatient rehabilitation 2 to 3 times per week for 4 weeks, less effective than 7 weeks. One supervised session is ineffective. Training respiratory patient is 60 to 75% of maximal work rate, result in substantial increase in the maximal exercise capacity and reduction in the ventilation and lactate level at identical exercise work rate. Training specificity: training effect have been found to be specific to trained muscles. Traditionally focus on lower extremity training. Many ADL involve upper extremity, so upper extremity training should be incorporated. Strength and endurance: traditionally endurance training is used in form of cycle and walking exercise. Relatively longer duration of higher intensity. Total effective training time should be exceed 30 minutes, but difficult to achieve in some patient. Interval training: regional significantly lower symptom score despite high training load. Those maintaining the training effect. Strength training has greater potential to improve muscle mass and strength. Session include 2 to 4 set of 6 to 12 repetitions with intensity of 50 to 85% of the non repetitive maximum. The combination of endurance and strength training is probably the best strategy. Lower extremity walking and cycling are the most common exercise prescribed. Intensity uh, less than 12 years elder, normal progression for moderate to severe, prescribed on basis of heart rate, VO2 max, and RPE mat exercise. Duration minimum 30 minutes with or without break. Frequency 3 to 4 sessions a week. Upper extremity: increase strength training with or without weight. Without weight preferred. Free weight like theraband etc. Type of pulling or pushing. Upper extremity exercise along with the other benefit help in increase thoracic cage mobility. Cross training both upper extremity and lower extremity done together. Ventilatory muscle training: inspiratory muscle function may be compromised in COPD. Respiratory muscle strength is commonly estimated by the measuring maximal negative inspiration pressure. Through although this is highly effort dependent test. VMT: 3 type: inspiratory resistive training, threshold loading, or non normocapine hyperpnea. Exercise prescription guideline for VMT: frequency at least 5 minutes per week, intensity greater than 30%, duration 30 minutes per day. Training advice: breathing frequency of 12 to 15 breath per minute in recommended. Respiratory training: palm muscle performance, dyspnea, ventilatory increase plum muscle performance, decrease dyspnea, increase ventilatory efficiency, or increase endurance. Oxygen therapy: hypoxemic and non-hypoxemic patient allow the higher training intensity and or reduce symptom in the research setting. Long-term O2 therapy: self-management education, prevention of exhaustion, breathing strategy, bronchial hygiene, medication, symptom management, self-assessment, exercise training and benefit, activity of daily living and energy conservation. Smoking cessation: smoking cessation is the single most effective and cost effective way to reduce the risk of developing COPD and stop its progression. Thank you.